Welcome back to Mayo Clinic Radio. I'm Dr. Tom Shives.
And I'm Tracy McCrae.
Tracy, if your kidneys were failing and you needed a transplant, do you think that one of your friends or maybe even an acquaintance might donate one of their kidneys, step up to the plate to help you out?
I should hope so, but I'm not sure.
Well, it can happen.
It can.
Say hello to Chad Corey, a videographer at local ABC TV station, and Chris Douglas, who works in media support services at Mayo Clinic. Chad, Chris, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Chad has been undergoing hours of dialysis, kidney dialysis every week for more than a year, waiting and even hoping for a donor who would be a good match. And it turns out that person is someone he didn't even know, a good Samaritan. That acquaintance of Chad's now is Chris Douglas. Welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Chad and Chris, it's a story we can't wait to hear. So tell us first, Chad, when did you find out that you had a problem with your kidneys?
Well, to begin, I was 13 and I had a tight spot in my ureter, and
I'm sorry, you had what?
A tight spot.
Oh, the ureter, the tube that goes from the kidney down to the bladder.
Yep.
And how did you find that out?
Just all of a sudden I had pain. It was just the weirdest thing, and they said it was from birth, and so at that point I had it removed and then put a stent in to keep it keep it open.
Okay.
Keep it open, yeah. And from there, from 13 to about 30, everything seemed fine, and then 4 years ago, I had gotten sick and I started to have the cough, cold kind of thing, and it turned out to be pink eye, double pneumonia, and then they realized my creatinine was super high, and
creatinine is a measure of kidney function.
Correct. Yep. And so since then, about 4.5 years, I've been on medication and just trying to keep the life of the kidney going. But as of July, at the end of July last year, basically my kidneys had failed, and it started off as just I thought it was the flu, so I drank water and trying to flush it out, and that was obviously not the greatest thing because my kidneys weren't doing anything. So, long story short, I ended up in the St. Mary's, the emergency room, and ended up back on table, and at one point, everything was getting really intense, and my blood pressure got up to 220, and they said I could have had a stroke. And I had a breathing tube in to keep my lungs open, and at some point they sedated me and put me under, and I woke up the next day and they'd taken 4 liters off.
You were sick.
Mm-hmm.
And you've known for a year that this kidney failure was going to result in the need for a donated kidney?
Yep, that's correct.
And you've been waiting that long?
It's been, like I said, since about August, so close to a year. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm fortunate because a lot of people go years and waiting, and for me, it's only been 9 months or so. So I'm very fortunate in my position.
And no family members were able to donate?
No, my mom got tested, but not didn't work out, and I lost my dad about 1.5 years ago. So
sorry to hear that. So you've been on dialysis for at least a year.
Yep.
So and how often do you do that?
I do it 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sorry.
And that takes how long?
It's about 4 hours.
So every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you get dialyzed until you find a kidney.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, how did you meet this gentleman?
Actually, a few years ago, I used to do freelance high school sports photography for the Byron Review newspaper, small town just west of Rochester here, and would run into Chad from time to time on the sideline of a soccer game or a basketball game or a track meet or something like that. And we really only just kind of would chit-chat, say hi, those types of things, and started following Chad on Twitter, as you tend to do, the people that you meet from time to time doing that. About 1.5 years ago, I gave up that gig, and it was last August. I'm one evening just sitting on the couch, bored with what was on television, started flipping through Twitter, and Chad had put out a tweet, something along the lines of, I need a kidney transplant. If you know anyone with O positive type blood, see if they're interested. And I've donated blood for years, but I didn't even know my own blood type. So
is that right?
Yeah. So I went and got my blood donor card, and it's O positive. Oh, hey, that's me. And right then it just clicked and said, I have to at least try. So the next day I came in to work here. I work in media support at Mayo, and found the form to fill out, and then I put my name on and Chad's name on it, and that started the journey.
Well, I just have to say that I think, Chad, your story has had the most local coverage. I mean, if anybody was going to find a donor that was not related to you, it's funny to me that you two actually knew each other because your TV station did stories on you. You were on a billboard, people saying, we need to find a kidney for Chad. So you were a story before Chris came in at this next chapter.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm blessed to just be in my position to be able to, know a lot of people through my work, and then also, being a photographer, I don't like being on TV and cameras, but, I shoot a lot of videos, so it's kind of being in the weird spotlight, but, at the same time, if it, for me, it was obviously to get the word out, but not only for me, but to get the word out about organ donation in general.
Well, it's Organ Donation Month, so that's why we're happy to tell your story. When are you going to have the surgery?
It'll be April 29th, so in a couple weeks.
Well, it's also interesting to me that Chris didn't find out about your need for an organ from the TV or from a billboard. He found out about it on Twitter.
Twitter. I use Twitter all the time, and know a lot of people through that. So
the operation is upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris, you are going to donate one of your, I assume both of your kidneys are healthy.
Yes, yeah.
And what went through your mind, and why did you make this decision?
I've always had organ donor checked on my driver's license. It's just something that I've always believed in. I never really thought about being a live organ donor. But like I said, when I saw my blood type and I saw someone that I was at least an acquaintance with needed one, I don't know, something just snapped in my head and said, you at least have to try. And, if it didn't work out, it wouldn't work out. But I just figured I have to at least go through the testing and see if it works.
So how much time is this going to take away from your life?
Well, I'm told the recovery time is 2 to 6 weeks for a donor. During that 6 weeks, there's a 10-pound lifting restriction. So just have to take it easy. Won't be able to ride bike. Exercise is going to be limited to pretty much just walking. But and then told to expect some pain, the first couple days afterwards as an after effect of the surgery. But then after that, I should just be fine. And so I'm expecting they tell you 2 to 6 week recovery time. I'm expecting to be out of work only about 2 weeks. So.
Chris, since this has been an ongoing story for Chad and his coworkers, is there going to be another story shot about, is the surgery going to be videotaped?
As far as my station, I know that we'll do some follow-up because obviously we covered it in the beginning.
Well,
so you got to know.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's,
and I work in media support here, of course, at Mayo,
Right.
and we produce a lot of the patient head videos and those types of things. And I've actually talked with some of my coworkers who work in the surgical video and said, hey, and with the folks in the transplant center, if you need some video of a kidney transplant for anything, it'd be awesome if it was mine. So
definitely be interesting to see the video.
Yeah. Did you talk to your wife about this and your family?
Yeah, I have, and they're completely supportive. My mom's a little nervous about it, but everyone else has been pretty supportive. I have 3 sons. They all think it's great. My wife she's a nurse here at Mayo, and so I have someone who can kind of watch after me afterwards a little bit. But no, everyone's very supportive and thinks it's a cool thing.
And we all know that it doesn't shorten your life expectancy. Why wouldn't you, I guess?
Well, and I would have to join in with what I'm sure both of you are thinking, and that is we hope that this inspires other people to maybe donate one of their kidneys.
Absolutely.
So what are you most excited about? I suppose it's getting 4 hours back every other day.
Definitely. As much as dialysis, it's not, it is taxing on the body, but, it's part of my life right now, and it's kind of become a routine, but it'll be nice to have that time back and not, have a port in my body and just kind of be more normal, I guess, if that makes sense.
My friend that had a kidney donation said that within 24 hours of waking up from that surgery, just within the first hour or so, he could feel the difference of having a kidney that was operational. So I'm excited for you to be able to feel that much better.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no kidding. What a great story. We've been talking with Chad Corey, who is in need of a kidney transplant, and his prior acquaintance, now I guess his best friend, Chris Douglas, and he's giving the gift of life. Surgery scheduled for April 29th. The very best to both of you. Thanks so much for sharing your heartwarming story.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.